Have you ever been there? The English words are right there, sort of swimming around your head, perfectly formed.
Mm-hmm.
Get the grammar, you know the vocabulary.
Yeah.
But then you open your mouth, and what comes out just, well, it doesn't quite match, does it?
Yeah.
Feels like your tongue is tied, maybe stuck in your native language, even though you know what you want to say.
It's such a common frustration, isn't it? And, it really highlights something crucial that often gets missed.
What's that?
That understanding English, the passive skill, and actually speaking it, the active, physical skill, they're really two different things.
Okay.
It's not just about what, up here points to head. It's about what your mouth muscles have actually learned to do.
Right. So it's physical. That's where it gets really interesting, because what if the fix isn't just like more vocab lists or grammar drills?
Exactly.
What if it's something more fundamental, like actually training your mouth?
Yeah.
Like a muscle.
Precisely. Your mouth, your tongue, your lips, they need specific, targeted training to make those English sounds clearly, confidently, and naturally.
So it's like going to the gym, but for your mouth.
In a way, yeah. We call it mouth training. It's incredibly powerful, but honestly, it's surprising how often it's overlooked. And we're not talking about, those old school, boring tongue twisters you just repeat without thinking.
Right.
We mean unlocking a physical skill that directly impacts how fluent you sound.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then, to really unpack this mouth training idea.
That's the plan. We want to explore why it's so powerful, why it gets ignored, and crucially, how you can start using it.
We'll look at how your native language might be kind of getting in the way, blocking things.
Yeah, and the role of muscle memory, how that builds automatic speaking habits.
And then the practical stuff, like specific techniques, shadowing, mouth positioning. What else?
Repetition patterns, minimal pairs, and the really amazing part, the impact you can see from just, say, 5 minutes a day. Seriously.
5 minutes. Okay, you've got my attention.
By the end of this, you won't just know what mouth training is, you'll get the how and the why.
Right.
Think of it as maybe a shortcut to sounding more natural, more confident. Closing that gap between knowing the words and actually saying them easily.
Okay, let's start with that root cause then. You mentioned mouth memory. That sounds intriguing.
It really is. It might be a bit of an aha moment for some listeners. Your mouth literally has a memory.
How does that work?
Well, think about it. Every language uses slightly different mouth shapes, different muscle movements, unique tongue positions. Since you were a baby learning your first language, your mouth has been doing those specific movements over and over and over.
Okay.
They become deeply ingrained habits. Muscle memory, basically.
So that interferes with English.
It absolutely can. That's the blocking effect. Take the 3. Sound like in this or think.
Right. Notoriously tricky.
Because it just doesn't exist in many languages. Your tongue isn't used to that specific movement gently between the teeth, pushing air.
So what happens instead?
Well, your mouth defaults to what it knows. So you might swap it for a sound that's close in your native language, often a D or an S.
Ah, so this because dis, or think, sounds like sink.
Exactly. And even though you know the right word, suddenly you're not understood, or you feel awkward about it.
Yeah, I can see how that would make you self-conscious. It's like your mouth is running on autopilot for the wrong language.
That's a perfect way to put it. And people often think, oh, that's just my accent, I can't change it. But that's really not true.
Good news then.
Definitely good news. This is not a permanent problem. Your mouth muscles are totally trainable.
Like any other muscle.
Exactly. Mouth training isn't about just memorizing stuff. It's about consciously retraining the physical mechanics of speaking.
Okay.
Think about an athlete, right? They don't just think about how to run faster. They practice the exact movements, the biomechanics. It's the same here. You can't just think in English and expect your mouth to keep up. You have to move in English, feel the sounds, engage those muscles.
That physical experience of fluency. I like that.
That's what it is.
Okay, so if the root cause is this native language muscle memory and the solution is retraining, how do we actually do it? What are the tools in this toolkit you mentioned?
Right, let's get practical. We have a few really effective techniques. The first one, and maybe one of the best, is called shadowing.
Shadowing. What's that involve?
It means listening to a native speaker and speaking at the exact same time as them, not repeating after them with a pause.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
simultaneous.
Yeah. The magic is that it creates this immediate link in your brain between the sound you hear and the physical movement your mouth needs to make. It kind of bypasses that internal translation step.
I've tried shadowing. It's hard at first, trying to keep up. I used to try long sentences and just get lost.
The trick is short clips, maybe just 10, 20 seconds max.
Okay.
Listen once, then maybe repeat it once, then try to shadow like you're their echo.
Right. Cycle through it.
Exactly. And pretty soon you're not just mimicking words, you start catching the rhythm, the flow, how the words connect.
It's like your mouth learns the dance steps almost.
That's a great analogy. Then another crucial one, mouth position practice.
Sounds like what it is.
Pretty much. You literally use a mirror. Stand there and watch your lips, your tongue, your jaw as you make sounds.
Okay. Example.
Let's take the English R sound, like in, red, or around.
Mm-hmm.
Your tongue needs to curl back slightly, but, and this is key, without touching the roof of your mouth.
Which is different from a lot of languages with trilled or tapped R's.
Very different. So you might practice saying "rrr" slowly in front of the mirror. Watch your tongue curl.
Feels a bit silly, maybe.
It might, but that initial awkwardness, that's you building awareness, proprioception for your mouth muscles.
Like learning where your body parts are without looking.
Precisely. You're mapping the movement to the sound, like a dancer learning a specific pose. They have to feel it.
Got it. That makes sense. What else?
Okay, this leads right into sound drills with minimal pairs.
Minimal pairs. Those are words that sound really similar.
Exactly. Where just one tiny sound, one phoneme, changes the whole meaning. Think ship and sheep.
Ah, the classic example. Or bit and beat.
Right. Repeating these pairs, slowly at first, then faster, trains incredible precision. It forces your mouth to make those tiny, crucial adjustments.
I can see that. I bet that helps avoid those "I've got a new ship for my bed" moment.
Laughs. Exactly. It highlights how important those subtle differences really are for clear communication.
Okay, makes sense. Any other key tools?
One more, and it's often skipped, but it's vital. Record yourself.
Oof, nobody likes hearing their own voice.
I know. But you might think you sound a certain way, but hearing it back, it's objective. You often catch mistakes or patterns you just don't notice while speaking.
So it's like a reality check.
Totally. And then you can compare your recording directly to how a native speaker says the same thing. That creates this crucial feedback loop. You hear the difference, you adjust your mouth.
Okay, that's powerful. Shadowing, mirror work, minimal pairs, recording. It sounds like a workout.
It is. And like any workout, you won't see huge results overnight.
Right.
But if you commit to doing these things daily, honestly, even just 5 minutes, you will feel and hear a difference pretty quickly, within a week or two.
Consistency, not intensity.
That's the secret sauce. Building new habits, new neural pathways through that repetition.
And that consistency thing brings us to building the habit, right? Because knowing the techniques is one thing, actually doing them
Is the real challenge. But here's something that might help motivate you. Confidence in speaking. It doesn't just come from perfect grammar or a huge vocabulary.
Where does it come from then?
It mostly comes from sounding natural. And natural doesn't mean perfect, like a native speaker, necessarily. It just means clear, understandable, and automatic.
So you don't have to wait until everything's perfect.
Absolutely not. Start training your mouth now. Let your mouth lead, and your brain, your confidence, it'll start to follow.
I like that. Let the mouth lead the brain.
Yeah, and we can actually boil this down into a really simple, doable 5-minute daily routine, something you can start literally today.
Okay, break it down for us. 5 minutes. Minute by minute.
All right, minute 1. Pick a short, useful sentence. Something practical you'd actually say. Can I help you with that? I'd like to order a coffee,
Real life stuff. Got it.
Minute 2. Break it down, word by word. Practice each word slowly. Really feel the shape your mouth makes for each sound. Tongue position, lips, everything.
Building that muscle memory block by block.
Exactly. Minute 3, put it back together. Say the whole sentence maybe 10 times. Start slow, really clear, then speed up gradually, but keep the clarity.
So precision and flow.
Right. Minute 4. Now find a recording of a native speaker saying that exact sentence and shadow them.
Back to shadowing.
Yep. Try to match their rhythm, their intonation, their speed. Listen for the music.
Internalizing that natural flow.
Precisely. And finally, minute 5. Record yourself saying the sentence naturally, like in a conversation. Then listen back. Compare it to the native speaker.
That feedback loop again. Close the circle.
That's the routine. 5 minutes.
It sounds surprisingly simple. Almost too simple.
The power isn't in the difficulty. It's absolutely in the consistency, doing it every day. Over time, those correct English sounds, they become automatic. Your mouth just does them.
And you might not notice the tiny changes day to day.
But trust me, other people will. One day, someone will comment on how good your English sounds, and you'll know why. It wasn't magic. You trained for it.
You consciously built that skill.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of training, let's talk about specific hurdles. Because different learners struggle with different sounds, right? Depending on their first language.
Absolutely. Specific sounds are common culprits. We should probably tackle a few of the big ones.
Yeah, let's do that. With that daily routine in mind, what are some of those really tricky sounds?
Okay, number 1 has to be the sound. Think this.
A classic.
We mentioned it earlier. It's just not there in many languages. Remember the placement? Tongue gently between the teeth. Push air.
Practice words.
Think, thanks, this, those. Notice if you're defaulting to S or D. If you are, slow way down. Exaggerate the tongue position. It feels weird at first, but that's how you retrain the muscle.
Okay, what's next?
Another big one, the R versus ul problem.
Yeah. Yes, light versus right.
Exactly. In some languages, they're almost the same sound or one doesn't exist. But in English, totally distinct. Big meaning changes.
Remind us of the difference again.
For R, the tongue curls back slightly, no touching the roof of your mouth. For ul, the tip of your tongue does touch just behind your front teeth. Well, rawr.
Feel the difference.
You have to. Practice pairs are key. Light right, letter ed, collect correct.
Right.
And record yourself. Compare it. That really drills down the difference for your brain and mouth.
Okay, R and L. What else causes trouble?
Short versus long vowels. This seems subtle, but oh man, it impacts clarity hugely.
Like ship and sheep again. Or bit and beat.
Those are perfect examples. They sound close, but they're different words. The trick, really hold the long vowels. Exaggerate the length when you practice the pairs. E versus I. Your mouth learns the timing, the tension.
Got it. Lengthen the long ones.
And one more very common issue, especially for speakers whose native languages time syllables differently, dropping ending sounds.
Like saying wall instead of walk.
Yeah.
Or stow instead of stop.
Exactly. Or land instead of land. Those final consonants often get muffled or just disappear, but they're really important in English for understanding.
So how do you fix that? Make sure words don't just fade out.
You have to consciously train your mouth to close the word clearly, say the word slowly, really stress, and hold that final sound. Make it crisp. Tuh, puh, duh.
Okay.
Then speed up, but keep focusing on making that ending sound sharp.
It sounds like the overall strategy is focus. Don't try to fix everything at once.
Absolutely. Pick one sound that gives you trouble. Focus on just that for your 5 minutes for a few days or a week. Targeted practice is way more effective.
That makes a lot of sense. More manageable.
Mm.
And, it's not just about the individual sounds, is it? There's more to sounding natural.
Oh, definitely. This is where it gets really interesting, kind of the next level up. It's the music of English, the rhythm and intonation.
The music.
Yeah. Even if you pronounce every single sound perfectly, if your rhythm or intonation is off, you can still sound, well, a bit flat. Or robotic, as some people say.
Right. I've heard that. Why does that happen?
Because English has what's called a stress-timed rhythm.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means that unlike some languages where every syllable gets roughly equal time,
Like Spanish or Japanese, maybe?
often, yeah. In English, some words in a sentence get more emphasis, more stress than others. The important words.
And the other words.
The unstressed words, usually the small grammar words like to, the I, his, they get reduced. They're said faster, softer, almost squeezed between the stressed beats.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Take, I want to go to the store.
Right. Want, go, store, get the emphasis.
Exactly. Those are the strong beats. The little words, to, they just flow quickly in between. To, the T.
Your mouth has to learn to make those quick, reduced sounds, too. It's not just about the stressed words.
Precisely. It's a whole different kind of mouth choreography.
And so how do you train that? How do you practice the music?
One great technique is chunking.
Chunking. Breaking things up.
Yeah. Instead of thinking word by word, break longer sentences into natural phrases or chunks that native speakers say together. Like, I'd like to order a cup of coffee.
Okay. 2 chunks there.
Right. Then practice saying each chunk with its natural rhythm. Don't pause artificially between every word. Feel the beat of the chunk. Move with it.
I can see how that would help flow.
Definitely. And shadowing comes back here, too.
Ah, the multi-tool.
It really is. Find short sentences in movies, podcasts, whatever. Listen just for the stress, the rhythm, the intonation, that music.
And then copy it.
Copy it exactly. Repeat it with the same melody in your voice. You're building intonation memory, not just pronunciation memory.
Learning the melody, not just the notes. I like that.
And one more specific tip.
Yeah.
Practice with questions.
Why questions?
Because English questions have really distinct intonation patterns. Rising tones, falling tones. They signal meaning, are you coming? Goes up. Where have you been? Usually goes down at the end.
Ah, okay. Different melodies for different question types.
Exactly. Record yourself asking different types of questions. Listen back. Does it sound natural? Does it have that questioning lift or fall? It really helps you adapt your voice to real conversational flow.
So the goal isn't just to speak the words clearly, but to kind of sing English.
That's a fantastic way to put it. Train your mouth to sing the melody of English. The more you practice rhythm and intonation, the more natural, the more effortless you'll sound.
And probably the more confident you'll feel jumping into conversations.
It really transforms the whole experience. Truly.
Wow. So wrapping this up then, if you listening right now want to speak English more clearly, more confidently, more naturally, the big takeaway is pretty clear.
It is. Stop just thinking in English.
Start moving your mouth in English. Train it like a muscle.
Embrace those techniques. Shadowing, using a mirror for mouth positions, doing the sound drills, speaking out loud, recording yourself.
And crucially, doing it consistently, even just that 5 minutes a day.
That consistency is everything. The cumulative effect, it's honestly profound.
And if this deep dive sparked something for you, maybe gave you a new perspective, don't just, let it fade. We'd challenge you. Try one thing right now.
Yeah. Pick one sound you struggle with, or one short sentence. Grab your phone, record yourself for 30 seconds. Just start.
Start small, but be consistent. That seems to be the mantra.
Keep going with it. Because really, one day, maybe sooner than you think, someone's going to notice. They'll comment on how much your English has improved, how natural you sound.
And you'll know it wasn't luck, it wasn't an accident.
Nope. It happened because you decided to consciously train your voice, because you understood that your voice really is your power, and you chose to train it well.